Welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with my other host.
Uncle Spoke.
And Fluke Dog. What up?
Welcome, guys. Welcome anybody that's tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in, and hey, we're doing our thing, and we're doing our thing and enjoying our thing for a reason, and we're gonna keep doing this thing. There's a lot of things up in that situation, wasn't it, dog?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But do us a favor, go to our YouTube channel uh, by the name of Strong Perspective Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Take a look at our content, and enjoy, because it is enjoyable. All you have to do is tune in. But we like to do the live broadcast because, to me, this is my personal opinion. Damon, Jaquari, y'all might be a little different from me. When you do it live, it feels more authentic to me. You know what I mean? Because when you record it, you kind of, to me, what I do, I'm self-conscious of what I'm saying. Not that I'm saying I'm going to say the wrong thing, but how I articulate it, how smooth I look. You know what I mean? You go live, I'm like, man, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's just make it happen. You know what I mean? Because it keeps me engaged. With that being said, please go like, share, and subscribe our situation. And we're going to love it. We're here every Friday at 7:30, really 7:35, but 7:30. We're live on YouTube, our main channel, Facebook, and also IG. So welcome today. All right, with that being said, brothers, how y'all doing today? How was your day today, Damon?
I had a good day today, man. I was just relaxing. I got out in the yard today and it won, but I'm gonna challenge it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I ain't afraid to admit it, you know. This time I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna stretch, make sure I'm good and limber.
Mm-hmm.
Stay hydrated, brother.
Take a
And
hand.
stand hydrated.
Look, take a handful of ibuprofen, you'll be all right. I mean, that
Up
always
there,
helps.
up there in Michigan, you know you ain't got but a couple more times you can cut that grass this year, boy.
Which when he told me that's what he did, right, Jaquan, I was like, well, damn, didn't you have to shovel it?
I'm saying, how you cut the grass with all that snow?
Well, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did a little bit, you know, but my son did the heavy work. He did the heavy lifting.
and did. But Jaquari, how was your day today, brother?
Oh man, it was. I was glad. I was glad it was Friday, man. Definitely, man. It's been a long week. Nothing crazy or traumatic happened, man. Just being being in the workspace, man. When I could be on Temu somewhere. That was my attitude this week. I just didn't want it this week.
I got
But I
you.
mean, hey, hopefully I'll bounce back Monday, and I'm gonna be a week closer to my birthday. I took my whole birthday week off. It's the
My man,
first time I ever done that. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do,
what you gonna
but
do? What you gonna
You
do?
gonna figure you gonna figure it out.
That's the whole. That's you took the words right out of my mouth. Figure it out.
Mhm.
Uh, you see, you're the only man I know because you and my youngest son Carson was discussing this Timo situation, the Timo, and
Mhm.
you said to me, I get nothing but good results from Timo.
Yeah, I
I can't.
suppose.
Is it because you close to DC? What's going on, man?
I don't know. I thought Timu was in China, but I mean, as opposed to doggone Wish.com, where you go on there and pay $6 for a watch and then $37 for goddamn shipping and handling.
So
Timu shipping is free. I don't give a damn where it comes from.
that's true.
You know, Yeah. They got a bunch of little trinkets and gadgets. You know, I like that kind of shit. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. You get the gadgets is another thing. It's the clothing that I'm speaking on. I tell you
Oh man.
the funny thing is I ordered when Wish.com was a thing. The pandemic destroyed Wish.com, but
Mm,
I ordered it was a 4X shirt,
mm,
little workout shirt, right? I'm sitting up there and I waited for almost a month and a half just for a little workout shirt, right?
mm.
That motherfucker came in. I got it. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna give you a little for instance. It was about this big, right? So I opened it up. I said, maybe it's one of them compressed. You know how they vacuum pack it just for room. I opened it up. I didn't hear no air. I didn't hear nothing
Mm,
like that. It said poof,
mm,
right? Opened it up and took the shirt out. I'm being honest. I'm being honest with by being dishonest. Took the shirt out and it wasn't no bigger than my hand.
mm,
And you know how you be. I be just. Everybody can finish
mm,
that statement right there. I be just. And it was funny, but I didn't mind because it was only $6. But
mm.
Wish, the way it looked on Wish, it looked fly as hell though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's what Temu. All right, my son ordered some Temu stuff. It just took it a long time to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's my journey. I just stopped doing that. So what I am a true blue Amazonian.
There you
Mm.
go. Hey Keith, when you pull it
I have not been let down by Amazon. Y'all hear me?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, it's something to be said about that, but shit, that they just ain't got it. I can buy me a goddamn stingy brim, goddamn double-breasted, what have you from Timo.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be real, young and tight on me. Yeah, but hey,
Got, you said young and tight. What's up, John? How you doing, brother? John is a
going
friend of
on.
the show. I grew up with him. Um, yeah, but Amazon,
Hmm.
Amazon, I want to be a damn product tester for you folks. If this reach any of you executives out there,
Hmm.
right.
you understand? Because when I became a fan of Amazon, I drive a vintage 2007 Ford Expedition. Love that car. Got me through everything, right? Well, the ignition coils kept going out on me, right? Kept going out. And I'm like, and so I'm taking it to the mechanic, which is a good mechanic. My mechanic is good, but he charging me $250 a pop,
Mm,
right? So I YouTube it. And I'm like, it's simple. You need a torque wrench, you need the wrench to get it off, and that's it. Right?
mm,
It's like a 5-minute thing. And I said, oh man, okay, well, let me do that. And then I go to the AutoZone. I need the ignition coils for a 2007 Expedition.
mm.
And he told me that shit was like $89. I was like, good God. Now it's worth it because it's quality stuff, right?
Mm.
So I said, all right, well, look, I got to study it up on a little more on YouTube before I do this. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting up there in my car, getting ready to go in the house. I said, let me punch it up on Amazon, see what it was. The ignition coil, right? They gave me 8, right, for $40, and I
Eight in the
became
box.
in the box.
Damn.
$40. I became a fan of Amazon from that point on. There's no lie. Because it's true. Amazon have the majority of everything that you want, which is crazy. That's why, what's my man's name? The guy who founded it?
Bezos.
That's why he's a quadruple billionaire. Because he sells everything.
Look, and when they figure out a way to start shipping reefer, they can probably stop shipping everything else.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man.
How was your day, brother?
My day?
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all earlier, man. Some days what I do until some kind of action come along, I stack papers on one side, then wait about 2 hours, then I stack them to another side.
Yeah. I was about to ask you, did you have to batten down the hatches, man, after what happened was it Asheville?
No, that's Western Carolina, man, and my heart goes out to those folks, man. In the mountains. It's in the mountains, man.
Did you see that, man? That
And
was crazy.
they have never had that much rain or water come their way. That's why so many people was unprepared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That hurt me. It hurt me because that rain coming all the way up from the south was devastating to a lot of states, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it missed us. It missed us. And since I've been living down here, I've been in 3 or 4 hurricanes. Them joints is not nice, man. It is the scariest thing I've ever. Man, just living in Florida, the Gulf Coast states. You know what I mean? Even the islands, man, the Caribbean and Virgin Islands. Man, you want to talk about feeling helpless, brother? That's crazy.
Yeah.
They said they had another one coming through.
Well, this is the season until November.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't want to hear that shit. I'm like, what? When I first heard it, you know what I'm saying? Because with us, it's the windstorms, the tornadoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's usually springtime. You know what I'm saying? You got to get through springtime. In Michigan, that's when they usually come out. But that's only 1 or 2 months. But then, I don't know.
I know we had it. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this is the time of year me and my wife usually go on cruises and shit, man. So during hurricane season, because don't nobody be on the boat and shit is cheaper. So I mean, but I'm real glad we ain't go this year because fuck that. I like going on cruises. I don't need nothing to scare me off.
Look at you trying to be a frugal consumer.
Oh, I don't do that shit. My wife is a frugal consumer. If I want it, I drop the goddamn cash. I don't care nothing about that. I don't use coupons or none of that shit. I don't care.
You know what? I'm that type of guy too, man. To be honest with you. Yeah. I think my wife, I respect Kia because Kia has expensive taste, but Kia will find the deal to get the most. I mean, you still get the upper tier treatment, but reduce that price. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm like you, Jaquari. I need this certain amount here this time. Here, boom. I ain't worrying about it anymore. Let's go.
But they got the patience. They got the patience, man, to stand there at the counter and goddamn haggle and go back and forth. And I be like, look, and I done seen my wife just wear a motherfucker down, like, and I'm standing behind her listening, like, and when the motherfucker concede, I be like, yeah, that's my life, brother.
Look, sitting up there, asking questions, redirecting, restructuring the same question over like 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Right? And then the person will look up, man and woman, look at me, because I'm standing behind her. I'm doing this. Either you go shit and get off the pot,
I'm saying.
or just say no so we can move on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, just say no so we can speak to your manager. Because that's what's gonna happen.
I haggles too, man. I caught the
There's
bug,
nothing
man.
wrong with it, man.
I am not finna be paying.
No,
I mean,
nothing wrong with it.
No, man.
if I could get it for a cheaper price, I'm gonna get it for a cheaper price.
Bro, let me tell
You
you.
know what I'm saying? And then it can go home with a good feeling.
No, you know what, man? Mine has always been just paying that shit. That's my good feeling.
Okay.
Because this is what I'm saying. If I pay it, now this is just me. If I pay the full price, I'm gonna be a demon if I ain't getting what I
If it's
paid
fucked
for.
up,
I'm
yes, sir.
going hard.
Yes, sir.
But then what's weird about me is if I get that hookup and this and that and this, my tolerance level, even though it should be down here because I'm here, because we here, we should get this top tier commitment. But if I haggled it down and went through all that other stuff, right, my patience level will go up. You know what I mean? Because they're like, look, yeah, these motherfuckers gave me a break.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they hooked me up. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm
For
gonna tell you that.
For me, man, it's like, one time I had a neighbor, right? And it was cool at first. We didn't really fall out, but we had some words. Now this my motherfucking house. He was renting.
Okay.
And I was highly offended. I'm like, what? You don't really live here, motherfucker. Get your, and I'm not sounding some kind of way, but like you said, Keith, if I drop top cash, goddamn it, look, I'm not asking you no question. Give me everything I'm supposed to have.
Yeah.
Fluke,
what's the male name for Karen? Because that's what Jaquari turned into.
Fuck it, Chad.
Ken?
Kid.
Yeah.
You turned into Kid, like, hey, you're a renter. I'm a homeowner.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Shit. Hey, man, I come out in the morning, I got to kick his goddamn trash cans out from in front of my sidewalk. I'm like, motherfucker! I'm standing outside, just screaming, motherfucker, till he come out. Motherfucker! Get this shit moving now! oh, red ass motherfucker! And again, I ain't got nothing against people who rent. I mean, I'm renting for a long time, man. But I tell people all the time, man. You could pay rent, especially in this area. You could pay rent and pay another person's mortgage, or you can have your own goddamn mortgage.
That's true though. I mean, because you got to think about where you live, Jaquari, and it's turning that way where you live, Damon. Renting is only about $2 or $3 away from paying a mortgage, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It really is. And so it's like a lot of times, renters either can't afford a new home or older home, or they're always in transit. Like they like the fact that they don't have to mow a lawn. They don't have to deal with none of the homeowner stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which, I'm being honest with you. If I was single, I would have one home, right? But I would rent. I would, rent either if my family needed that home, I would rent it to them in a small minimum amount, as long as they take care of my shit, right? But I would have my own apartment because I wouldn't care. I would want to walk in that door and walk back out.
You
know what I'm
understand me? And you ain't got to worry about shoveling no snow or
You
none
ain't
of
got
that.
to worry about none of that. None of that.
The roof. Is it time for a new roof? You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes, man. It's a lot. And see, and that's the thing where I try to tell folks, first time homeowners, I say, listen, I believe that you're able to do this, but let me give you all the little stuff that happens. You need to have in place. Sears got one of the best appliance insurance warranty companies. Sears has one of the best, right? You need to have that in place. You need to have your home, the whole home. You need to have insurance on the whole home.
Yep.
That's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going on. It's like that. A lot of times, there need to be a class. I'm sure it is one, but there needs to be a class to teach folks exactly what's going on. Understanding when you're purchasing your home, fold into your taxes too a little bit over the year because you got to pay them at the end of the year. Fold that into it so you don't have to worry about it because they will come and get it automatically. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of things that folks need to be taught, you know, because a lot of times you don't get that. You feel what I'm saying? Now,
Like escrow, man. I mean, it's a lot you could do with escrow, man.
yeah,
There's a whole lot you could do with it.
The thing about it, I think what most people got to realize that when you buy a house, man, just think about if a house is just left abandoned and it's just sitting there, shit start breaking down, man.
It'll fall apart.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff start actually breaking down with nobody in the house, and you're like, damn, why is that happening? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's about maintenance, man. You gotta maintain maintenance on your house. Man.
Actually being there, being in the
you gotta
home.
Maintain maintenance on it.
I think it's the energy of it, man. The energy coming from you because you're sitting in at home holds your home together. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, and you know, this is metaphorical more than anything, but in a sense, it's like you understand the creaks, you understand, you know, the bumps, you understand all the different things that's going on. You know what I mean? You really do. That's why I think it's good when you leave town for a long period of time that you have somebody walk into your home and just, if you're just gonna stand, go flush the toilets, turn the water on. That's it. You don't have to do no more than that.
Yeah. Imagine living in Michigan in the wintertime.
Yeah.
You can't turn your heat off, man.
you know what's so crazy about Michigan? The smartest thing, because Michigan is the way it is, and also in the Chicago area, and all the real winter states, they don't build homes with copper pipes anymore. They don't do that no more because it's gonna burst. You can't, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's the plastic, man. You know, well, what do you call it? PVC. Yeah.
And people don't understand the importance of, especially in those like northern Midwestern states, man. In the wintertime of going out and shutting your fucking hose off.
Yeah.
Shutting your hose off, man.
Hell, you got to stretch it out and run all the water out of it, because when it freezes, it's gonna bust your hose.
It's gonna bust your hose.
Yep.
But look, let me just throw this out here. The Sears home warranty, folks, Sears home warranty. If you don't have anything on your appliances in your house, go look at that. All right.
Okay. Oh, not Sears sending us some fresh money.
Bro, why you think I'm doing it? What you talking about?
You said that the old shit. Do you want the fresh money?
I want some fresh money.
You know what I mean? And,
I want some hunters, some big face hunters.
But look, you know I ain't I ain't never been no gatekeeper though. You know what I'm saying? I always
Mm.
pass my information on. And
And I-
also, what is it? Home. We have it's a quick response on this one. It is what is it? We've had it for years too. I'm just trying to think what it is because I want the name. I definitely want to put out the actual name. Now they some bullshitters. They don't cover everything, right?
Mhm.
But they cover the major part of the appliances, central air, the water heater, different things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But what they get you at is this. Say if the central air, they will replace the say the heating coils in the central air, the coils,
Mhm.
right? They'll replace that, but then they won't replace the freon that you have to fill it up with.
Wow.
So
And I think I know who you're talking about, man. Because it's a real popular company, man.
yeah, yeah.
And
Quick
when
response though, bro. I'm
yeah,
telling you.
a couple years back when my water heater exploded, man. Dude came out, assessed it and everything, told me how much it was gonna cost and everything, and did the work. And I should have got that tankless heater, man. I should have got it, but that's beside the point. But the old heater that broke down, I had to help him carry it out the basement. I was like, so he got done with the work,
You ain't got no
and
help.
I got to I got to maneuver all around the old heater and shit because he couldn't hardly move it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, all right, yeah, what where your partner at? He ain't got no partner. Well, how the fuck you gonna get this out of here?
Yeah. Because you're gonna get this shit up the fuck up out of here, man.
Yeah, because you taking it with you. And,
American Home,
yeah, I'm,
American Home Shield. That's what
yep,
it is.
yep, yep.
American Home.
Oh, you're a pretty big guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm a pretty big guy. If I help you, if and when I help you,
Mhm.
you gonna buy me lunch or something, motherfucker.
But yeah, those are the kind of things that they leave it up to you to educate yourself. But I think people would will be able to keep their houses longer because a lot of times people get tripped up over some dumb shit. Like
Mhm.
say when the property taxes and you ain't been paying them, right? And it takes you and you don't and you're in a position not to be able to take they can take you home, man.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like over property taxes, even though your house may be paid for. Of course, I know there's some loopholes and different things like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is, and I had to learn this. No, it wasn't the hard way, but I learned this along the way. Take care of the small shit
Mhm.
because you don't want the small stuff to get in the way when something major comes. You know, that's all. You know,
Stuff like saving money. Start to pay the doggone property taxes. Like you have to do that.
you
You got to
do,
do it.
you do, and
I mean,
and usually your mortgage company will set up the escrow for you. But you
mhm.
can easily set up an escrow for that through your bank. You know what I'm saying? Where you will not even see, once you get paid, you will not even see that it's not going to affect your month or weeks or whatever because they just take it out. You don't have to worry about it, you know?
Hell, even if you did see it, you're gonna have somewhere to lay your head. So shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think,
And
go ahead.
I'm saying, and just to keep the conversation going on the topic of insurance, man. I mean, people, especially us, man. I don't think we really understand the importance of insurance, man. I mean,
Yeah.
growing up, you think about, the vehicles that we had at least. How many of them vehicles had insurance on them, motherfucker?
I mean, but here you got to have insurance to drive it here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but is that true in Michigan?
It's true in Michigan.
Yeah, you got to have insurance, man. You
And
can't drive
look,
without.
and
Is this
also, and also, Damon, you can attest that if your registration is expired, that they will take the vehicle right there, won't they?
Mm-hmm. You got to be up. You got to be up on your stuff, man.
Yeah,
that's
You
crazy?
got to be on it.
yeah.
That is crazy. You know, I was
But we are no fault though.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying?
Which is it's
Which
crazy.
is if you get in a car accident and it's somebody else's fault, you know, say your insurance got to pay for it. They don't.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania is the same thing. Now here in North Carolina, we good. Pennsylvania, Virginia, Commonwealth states, insurance companies control the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Most of that states you don't have to have any insurance.
the po- I think it's a couple southern states, man. But in the state of Virginia, man, you know, the police at least they really don't give a shit about whether you got insurance or not. You know, I was sitting in the McDonald's
They don't.
parking
They
lot.
don't.
I was sitting in the parking lot in the McDonald's, you know, around my birthday time and shit. And Prince William County police officer came up, knocked on the window. He was like, "Hey, man, you kind of late, bro." I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, yeah." I'm grabbing, reaching for my wallet, my registration or whatever. He's like, "Nah, man, just take care of it."
Well, it
I said,
ain't
"No
like
problem."
it. It ain't like that here.
I'm saying, yeah.
No, man, you
Shit.
gotta
He
think about
said,
these days and time. Like in Philadelphia, right? Moving violations, unless it's some reckless shit. Moving
mm,
violations in the city of Philadelphia, the DA, this happened 2 years ago, said they're not going to prosecute nothing.
Man, please.
You know what I'm saying?
Leave
So
my-
they not pulling for, just violations, insurance and shit. They not pulling them. Now, it's up to, they can still write you for it, right? But the majority of the time, the police officers going, I'm going to let you live. You know what I'm saying? Because what the DA is going to do is throw it out once you get there. You know,
They want all that information. You got to have insurance.
of course.
Your tax got to be up to date. You know what I'm saying? You can't be what they give you. They say they give you a week, but that's a lie. Because I know people who've been stopped with expired tags and got hemmed up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving nobody no passes here, man. Not when it
No.
comes
hey,
comes to
Keith,
operating vehicles.
hey, Keith, I appreciate the clarification because I just thought he let me go because he could see I was a good dude. But
Oh, but you are a
yeah.
good dude, my guy.
Mm.
Shit. What are you talking about? You glow. Look. You glow goodness.
Yeah, I do.
What
But
you say? Look at
yeah,
that shit. Hey, there he is.
My man. My man.
Why is Jaquari?
It's Jaquari. Yeah,
What
brother. You
up,
know
buddy?
what? No, I ain't gonna hold you. You good.
No,
Just go ahead.
no. What you putting your wallet out for? But you ain't got to do all that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, just be safe, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mm,
I think. Let me ask y'all a question, man. To me, growing up, because I cared about, this is my own personal experience. I don't think this is everybody's experience. I cared about the treatment of our community. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, but mostly black, but as a whole, treatment of our community when it came to people whose job is to, I hate the word serve. I could not stand that because it puts
mm,
people in the mind of serving like we're subservient to you. No, my job is to protect.
Okay.
Everyone. You feel what I'm saying? That's what when I was working that's what I do. This the protection in all aspects of it, right? Is there do you think there is too high of an expectation the more let's just take law enforcement. Let's use that example. Do you think there's too much of a high expectation upon law enforcement when you are educated about what the law enforcement officer's job is in the community? What I mean is this. Nowadays, right, even though I know these folks is sometimes they're a little bogus, and especially the ones that we see on social media where they on a traffic stop and they start to record, that's cool, right? But then they get to, am I being detained? What is the reason why? Ask me why. Yes, ask the officer why you're being stopped. And that officer is obligated to tell you why you're being stopped, right? But then all of a sudden, am I being detained? Why do this? Right? And it takes it to the level where, and this is no right or wrong answer now. This is, I want your honest opinion about it. It takes it to the level where something that's simple, whether you deserve the ticket or not, something that's simple is turned into something bigger because you want to exercise the information that you have. Tell me, do you have an opinion about that? And your honest opinion. If you don't have an opinion, that's cool. But just the simple fact that when you feel as though you need to interrogate when these stops that's being put on this screen, interrogating the officer, why'd you stop me? I know my rights. I know this. I know that. Telling them everything, but not giving them your license and registration so they can be on their way. You know what I mean?
I mean, when when you're dealing with certain sections of the community, man. I mean, compliance has led to several situations where people were freaking railroaded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And us as American citizens, man, I think it's our duty to exercise our rights. Now, I think we also need to understand that the person on the other side of that badge is a human being, and they have the same emotions and whatever we got going on inside of them. So maybe if they took a little heat off of it, why can you tell me why I'm being stopped? Well, yeah, even down to I don't talk to the police. You don't have to yell that. You don't
Yeah.
have to yell it, but it is your right to say it.
Mm-hmm. But it is compliance, though. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
But
think that
and above all, I'm sorry to cut you off there. And above all else, it's also our responsibility to to understand that once I say those words, I don't talk to the police. It's only going to escalate the situation.
yeah, but it shouldn't. In the officer's eyes, it shouldn't escalate it nowhere. As long as you're giving me your license and your registration,
Mhm.
especially if you intend to write him a ticket. That okay, that could piss you off. Gives a fuck whether or not I'm pissed off or not by whatever you said. But as long as you're compliant, you said the magical word, compliance.
Aggressive
I'm
compliance
asking
is
you,
still
I'm
compliance.
asking you for listen, and here's the crazy thing. I'm asking you for your license and registration, right?
Hmm.
Now, that tricky thing, and Dame, I'm gonna let you speak after this. That tricky thing is when he says, hey, and you're on the highway, can I search your vehicle? No. If it is a moving violation and you have all my information, no. Because if he's asking me to search my vehicle, that means he has no probable cause or reasonable suspicion. It's just he's on a fishing expedition. Now, this is not saying that this person who's asking to search the car is a bad guy and trying to jam you up. No, sometimes that's just that routine, that getting in that car, caught up in that dumb shit when I'm pulling you because you did this. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm pulling you. You know, because the other stuff will come. The other stuff will come. Unless, you know, it's purposeful. But go ahead, Damon. My fault. I just wanted to throw that in there.
My thing is, excuse me. My thing is, if you are well aware of your rights, man, saying it, you know what I'm saying? Why would the officer be upset about that? You know what I'm saying? So you know your rights. You know, I don't think that should escalate anything. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're having a bad day, because even the driver have a bad day, man. And plus, you know, if it's a moving violation, a traffic stop, and the officer pull over and ask for ID, if it's a person sitting over in the passenger side in Michigan, they don't have to show their ID.
They don't have to show their ID anywhere if it's just a moving violation because you're only dealing with the driver.
Right. So how many times has that situation escalated into something? Because
they're fishing for something.
Right. So
why I threw that in there.
So their main intention is to stop and fish for stuff, right?
But hold on. Let me throw this in there. If that passenger is being a dickhead, then that officer asks him for his ID is because he's being a dickhead. Why you pull us over? Man, don't be being brave while I'm driving. Shut the fuck up. Because look, let me just say this to you. And I'm gonna say this to you guys, and I'm gonna say this to everyone who run across this. Understand something. It is several steps to this. You get pulled over. If this officer writes you a ticket, even if you're recording, record that shit if you have to. But the second step is to go to court. And if you don't believe that you deserve the ticket, the recording and whatever you have, take that to court. That's the second step. You are not going to win on the side of the road, bro. Mm-hmm. And I get tired of people saying to me, well, you asking that man to kiss the officer's ass. No. If you were speeding, this is if. All these are ifs. If you were speeding, you comply. And if you want to fight it, you go fight it.
But what if you're when you being complicit, what if your rights are being violated?
Okay, now what rights are you talking about?
I'm talking about a person in the passenger seat. He said, I don't need to show you my ID.
Okay, now
and then it escalates into something else.
No, 9 times out of 10, if the guy says, I don't have to show you my ID, and it's just a moving violation, that person in the passenger seat is in the right. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's a felony stop, or you smell marijuana in the car, you understand how each violation, when it gets higher, the more that people need to be identified in there. But if it's a moving violation, or you smell alcohol, see that's reasonable suspicion. Like, yo, I need to identify everybody in this car.
That's something else. But if it's a situation where there's no liquor or marijuana or whatever, and the cop is just pissed off because the person say, I don't need to show you my ID.
Okay.
And then it escalates. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, do you think that's usually in those situations? That's usually the case. Where a person say,
No.
"Hey, who knows their rights," and they say, "I don't need to show you my ID. I'm good."
No,
You know what I'm saying?
because I'm saying
And
to
then
you,
officers say, "Well, I need to identify you."
no, he doesn't need to identify you
But
because
how many cases?
you're pulling. Now, listen to what I'm saying to you now, because here's the thing: if something happens where he write that person a ticket or he arrests that person in the passenger seat, he has to articulate why he did it. So if it's filled with lies, those lies are gonna come out. I know you don't want to deal with it. You don't want none of that shit. I get that. I'm saying to you is this. This is what I'm saying to you. Is the simple fact that you do have certain rights when you're pulled. Everybody in that car has certain rights.
Let me ask you this, Keith. Same scenario, man. I'm a passenger, you know, in a vehicle that was stopped for a moving violation. The police officer asked me for my ID. I hand him my ID and I tell him, I'm giving you my ID for the purposes of you identifying me. I don't want you to run my license. That's
That
not
that's
an
not
option.
that's not an option.
Hmm.
He's asking for you.
He
He's
just
asking
said
for
they
your.
fishing.
He's
He just said
asking
they
I
for your
mean,
fishing.
ID. He's asking for your ID to run your name.
Fishing.
That's exactly why. Now,
but
understand something.
is he obligated to tell you that at that point that I need your ID to run your name?
He's not
Because
obligated. He's not.
at that point in time, he's just saying he just might be saying I need your ID to identify you. Once I hand him my ID and he sees my name and my
No,
address, he has identified me, hasn't he?
listen, no. Identification is going back to your vehicle and every license that you have in your hand, run them through the database. That's what being identification. Now, let me tell you something personal. I was with a deputy who asked the same scenario you're talking about. I was his backup. And I was on the passenger side of this guy, right? He asked for the ID. The guy gave it up willingly, right? And I'm watching him. This is at night. I got my flashlight on him because this is the only two in the front. Flashlight on him and all that. Hey, put your hands on the dashboard for me, man. Just give me this. Be patient with me, but I just need you to be right here for me, right? He goes back and runs the ID. This man is wanted out of the state of Virginia for murder. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying to you is the majority of the time, if it's a moving violation, that officer may ask, but you can say no, or I don't have my ID on me.
But then if you do have it, then you lie to a police officer.
But how are they gonna know? I'm not telling you, I'm not advocating lying to them. I just gave you an example
Hmm.
of because you're sitting in the passenger side and you're waiting for your friend to get his ticket. That's it. You feel what I'm saying? That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, am I saying, oh yeah, you let your guards down, just let them do their job and all this? It's up to the individual. What kind of individual you are. You know what I'm saying? Me, because I know that I live my life as lawless as possible, not lawful as possible. I'm gonna give you my ID. And I'm gonna sit there and chill. You feel me? Because I know. And that was the craziest thing where it made me like I had I had a discussion with this guy. I said, why do you ask everybody? Right? I said, why do you ask everybody for their ID? This is before this stop. And he said, well, man, that's how they taught me, and that's what I should do, and all this. And he would like say if we get a call that somebody's walking on the highway, right? We would run that person's ID.
Hmm.
And I've seen fugitives who've been caught walking on the hard highway because you ran their ID. You see what I'm saying? And so my point is, this from both sides. You can say no. You can say yes. You are not doing anything wrong by saying no. You get me? Now, those officers are obligated to tell you why they pulled you. Because really and truly, when they pull you for writing you for the ticket, they're building up their probable cause of why they wrote this ticket for you. So they have to articulate it, period. You know what I'm saying? But if they're on some willy-nilly shit, right? Because officers who ain't about their business, they have a reputation at the courthouse of being unreliable. You know what I mean? Because some officers will lie, some officers will stretch the truth to get in their report. Then you got somebody get blessed to have a good lawyer who has a relationship with the DA and say, yo, this is Officer so and so. You know, how much do read this narrative? Now they sitting around because lawyers are lawyers, man. They whether they prosecution or defensive lawyers, they lawyers. They know each other, and they talk it out all the time. You know what I'm saying? Look, to be honest with you, and me, when I was in law enforcement, there was a burden I had to carry along with everyone else who was black and who wasn't. Because you'll have an officer like, yo, I caught him speeding. I'm just gonna write him a ticket. Gone, right? But you might have on you might have a fitted hat on with sunglasses at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and just, and they get caught up on the the mythical shit. And all of a sudden, hey, he might be a drug mule. So you start asking probing questions. This is in general. You see what I'm saying? Because you take on a lot of responsibility, and it depends on how much of responsibility you want to take on. I'll give you a perfect example. Then we'll move on. Right? Your job, right, Jaquari? You're in charge. Now, now I'm giving you my interpretation of what you told me that you do. Right? You facilitate care for these juvenile who've been adjudicated, and adjudication means they've been sentenced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in your care facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got two ways to go. Really three, but two ways. Two of the most common ways is you look at them as criminals and you treat them as such, right? No bend, no nothing. That's fair because they're there for that reason, right? But it ain't fair because everybody deserves a chance. I'm talking about in the minimal sense. I'm not talking about the major sense. It's minimal, right? Then you got someone who look at them as criminals that made mistakes, and you're willing to give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Those two clash all the time, don't they? Instead of understanding it's a place for both.
Yeah. But see, in my line of work, man, there's compliance, and then there's aggressive compliance.
Yeah.
And me and my teammates, we understand that. A lot of us understand that. So when it becomes necessary for us to have to put a young person in their room because they're acting out of control. Uh, as long as they're not trying to attack anybody, or trying to create any damage or anything like that, they could be yelling, they could be screaming, they could be carrying on all sorts of ways. As long as they're walking, it doesn't matter. As long as they're going, walk into that room, you know. But if they have to be helped to that room, it becomes a different situation.
Gotcha. I understand. Because you're actually giving them the responsibility to self care.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Um, let's
It's a
switch this.
fine line, man. It's a
It is.
fine line.
It is.
What I was about to say.
Let's switch this up. As strong men with children, strong men that's been responsible for children. I got several questions, but the first question is this. And be as honest as you want to be. How do you want your child to see you?
Uh, I wanted my daughter to see me for who I was. I mean, as far as you know, the everyday I don't want to say fairy tale, but everyday what people expect that, for a father figure to be. I'm a stepfather, so there's that barrier that we had to get past right there. You know what I mean? So I I never felt the need to be this mythical patriarch that she would measure other people to. I wanted our relationship to be real, so I didn't necessarily hold back about things that I talked about, in regards to my life, especially my shortcomings, especially my losses, man, especially my failures, you know. Uh, so yeah, that's in a nutshell, man. I wanted her to see me for who I was and
Okay.
who I am. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
So
and and maybe was that the right approach? I'm not sure.
I was about to ask you, did you succeed with it? Or are you comfortable with the way you did it, went about it?
I did it the best way I could. You know what I mean? And uh, with all of the advantages that I could provide through fatherhood, you know, we don't have a relationship. So
Okay. I pray that you mend that. Okay. Damon, what about you?
How I want them, well, mine to see me is a resource, man. First of all, safety. First of all, somebody that's going to keep them safe, allow them the latitude to express themselves. Who they are. I'm saying, understanding that I accept them for who they are, and who they are is special, and they're meant to be here, so they have purpose. Number one. Secondly, I like for them to see me as somebody with resources. You know what I'm saying, be it good advice, or helping them out with certain things or whatever. But um, someone who's there. You know what I'm saying? Something that they can rely on. That's nothing that can be questioned. It's just me being somebody they can rely on, and that's till I'm dead and buried. You know.
Mhm.
But also, well, that's pretty much uh, a good standing, a good when I'm thinking about it, it's like, yeah, I want them to feel safe. I want them to be able to express themselves. I want them to be able to, if they in a bond or whatever, come to me freely and take advantage of my wisdom and knowledge.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. To answer the question, to understand what strength is how I want them to see me. Because I make decisions when it comes to them in which they may not understand. But I sit them down and I explain to them why I make the decision, right? Whether they like it or not, this is why I did this. I'm talking about I have a son that's grown now. I still talk to him the same way. How I want them to see me any way that you want. But the one thing I want you to see is strength mixed with character. I need you to see that. Because if that sticks out to you, then you have a chance to raise your own children. You know what I'm saying? To be there for your wife, as fickle as she may be. You know what I'm saying?
So when I'm hearing you say that it's ongoing, the way you
Yeah,
describe it, it's ongoing.
of course.
Is there a point where you say, well, this person is grown now, so you know,
I mean,
I,
come
I
on, bro.
trust them to take care of themselves. I trust them to, at what
Bro,
age do you think that you can come to that conclusion that you can?
bro, I see that's the thing. It's not an age because I don't direct their lives. When my sons walk outside of me, right, I leave it open to be that advisor to them, but they lead their lives, right? To be an advisor, I can look at you and sit there and tell you, hey man, you fucking up. Because see, I reserve that to do that because I raised you to this point to make sure that you make the best decisions for yourself. Now, if you make the wrong, if you make a decision that I don't agree with, I'll tell you. But also, I accept that that's your decision. That was your decision to be made. You see what I'm saying? Because look, you don't. I'm not going to spend my life um, directing my sons' lives. No, that's their job to direct their own life. But I'm definitely going to be a resource.
Right.
Look, voluntarily and involuntarily. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And that's out of love. I think a lot of times, and this is kind of a little side note. A lot of times we take it personal that our children have shortcomings, like we failed somehow. And really and truly, if you tried, you didn't fail. You just wasn't good enough to convey what needed to be conveyed. But the one thing that you did that every parent should do for their child, in my opinion, if you ask me, the one thing that every parent should do for their child is to establish what they do with it or not, that's up to them. What they do with it or not is establish their independence of self.
Right. Right. So isn't it gratifying, man, that you see them overcome their mistakes and shit?
But
You know?
but of course, no matter what.
I mean, there's a certain amount of joy in that, man. You know,
I mean, but look, I'm gonna tell you.
let me
But
see how let me see how this child is going to handle this situation.
yeah, but that's the point though. I'm gonna offer help, right? But I'm gonna offer help to the point where I'm not carrying the load. I'm pointing out that it's going to get heavier here. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, yo, hey man, I'm here if you need me, but we going around this bend and you top heavy, so you need to widen your stance and widen them arms out so you can carry this shit around this motherfucking load. You feel around this corner. See, and that's the thing about it is I've run into people who take it personally that their sons and daughters have not achieved what they felt they needed to achieve. That is fucked up because you are being selfish when you think that way. I'm not talking about if your son is a drug addict, you know what I'm saying, or just something messed up that he stumbles or she stumbles some way that you're disappointed. I'm talking about they living their lives and they're loving where they are, but you don't think it's good enough. I think that's fucked up. That's all. And that's my own personal opinion. I don't have nothing to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no argument against it. That's just how I see it.
I get it. I mean, parents, man, parents invest in their children, man. And just like any other investment, you want to see the return that you want to see,
I get it. I get it.
you know.
You know,
But
I'm not against it, but that's not me. I just, you know,
Remember, two things, man. You know, when it came my situation with our father, man. You know what I'm saying? Once he said he cut them strings loose, he said, "All right, I done raised you, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there and make your life happen." You know what I'm saying? Something happened that affects you in a negative way. You know, he would come to me and say, "You got your head bumped, huh?"
uh-huh.
Yeah, I did. He said, well, "What you learn, man? What's your next move?" And I remember saying, "Well, hey man, I called you, man. You know," he's like, "Hey man, I raised you, man." He
Yeah,
said, "Man, look here. You are allowed to make your own mistakes, man. But what you're not allowed to do is allow other people to make the mistakes for you." You know what I'm saying? And that's how you build wisdom within yourself. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So that's how I always looked at it, man. And that's how I really did with my own too. But you ever remember that saying, man, when
yeah.
you go to your mama, man, and you say, "Hey mom, I can't raise my arm up. When I raise it up like this, it hurt." And then she look at you and say, "Well, don't raise it up like that then."
Yeah.
stop
You
doing
know what
it.
I'm saying? Don't
Simple
raise it
logic.
like that. And I used to think that they wasn't being callous and cold or hearted or whatever, but it was like, is it really that bad? You know what I'm saying? That's what I got from that. Is it really that bad? You know what I'm saying? Is it broke? You know what I'm saying? Are you hurt or are you injured? You know what I'm saying? There's vast differences in that, man.
Yeah.
If you injured, we need to go to the ER. You know what I'm saying? If you hurt, then hey boy, I ain't raising no little I'm raising men, I ain't raising that. Brush it off and keep it moving, you
Yeah.
know. But man, I think, man, for me, it's gratifying to see your offspring, your youngest, man, overcoming, you know, things that's happening in their lives, and they're making choices. You see them making choices. Okay, I have to take this route because that route over here is too treacherous. I can't go there. Or I experienced this situation and I can overcome it because I'm doing it this way, and I learned from that. I learned from my mistakes. That's gratifying to me, man.
I get it.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt. No doubt.
But I understand what you're saying too. You know, I mean, it works both ways, man.
It does. Depending on the, and I say character, not, and see, most people, to me, use the word character wrong. Because character just has to do with how you build, what you built for yourself to respond to whatever, right?
Mm.
But it depends on which way you go on the character, your character, who and what you are, and how you respond to it. You know. So let me ask you this. Gonna switch it up again. How do you want, and you can be as honest as you want, how do you want your wife to look at
Hmm.
you? Like I said, it can be a short answer, or you can go in, but just your honest opinion. Now, I understand that our wives, my wife don't watch this, so I'm cool. I don't have to be politically correct. But my point is, if you got something on your heart, say it. If you don't, just say what you want. But just be as honest as you can. Not won't, but can.
I want my wife to see me, to see me as who I believe myself to be. The way. But see, that's kind of contradictory because the way that I communicate with my wife is not the way that I communicate with other people. I don't argue with other people. I don't raise my voice with other people. And I think sometimes there's a lapse in understanding between us. You know, and to answer your question honestly, man, during those times, man, the way she sees me is not important to me. Because if I don't feel like I'm being respected the way I want to be respected, the way I respect people, then I need to get some space from that situation. So that's what I do. We come around, and then I'll come back around. But it's for me, it's not a constant recharging, but sometimes I got to go and reassess who I am. You know, in her eyes in particular. You know what I mean? Because like I said, and I'm quite sure that it's the same in her case. She don't argue with nobody outside of me. Because we live together. We're here. We're here all the time together. So I don't know if that answers your questions, but
Yeah.
that's the best I can do.
Look, did it answer your question, Charlie? Hey, look, I don't know. Damon?
Mm.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, trying to come up with an answer, and I go back to the very beginning. I want her to see me as that dude, that guy. You understand? The cat that got her attention, that cat who kept her attention, that cat who kept her safe, uh, uh, that man that she know that I am, all that. I don't want that to diminish whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I'm still that guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's till you know what I'm saying, till I'm dead in bed. That's all I wanted to see. Man. I want that to change, man. If it does, then that's a problem. That's a
Gotcha.
problem. I'm that guy you made. I'm that guy she made a commitment to for the rest of her life. That's how I want her. That's how I want her to see me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best answer I give. I can't think of nothing else, bro. I'm not even trying to speculate on any of that.
Gotcha.
I'm that guy.
You know what? to answer the question more than anything, because it's a little both of what both of y'all saying. See, me, it's always been a constant battle of how I see who I am, because it affects every relationship that I have. So how I see myself affects me and my wife's relationship. It's the truth. Like I, when it's all said and done, other than, and that's going to change, other than being fucking wealthy, I really see myself as someone who steps up when it needs to step up. Even when you don't need me to step up, I step up. Right? But see, that's a habit more than anything. That's a habit that I developed. So how I want her to see me, I need her to tell me how she sees me first. To understand. And it's not no trick question, it's nothing like this. It's the simple fact that the way that I lead my life, it has a lot to do with how I know I should treat my wife. I stand tall on that. How I should treat her. Because if I am treating her the way that I know to treat her, right, I won't feel like I'm shortchanging her. Because I want to give her as much of everything that she wants and needs. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the other, on slightly the other hand, I don't allow no disrespect. And the kind of disrespect that I don't allow is you say something to me to hurt me, even though you don't believe it. I think that's highly disrespectful because of our relationship. We have 38 years. That's that's a long time. So if I feel you disrespecting that, then I have a problem. You see what I mean? But other than that, if she see me in a certain way, then she'll just have to see me that way. But if you disrespect the kind of person I've been to you, you understand what I'm saying? In which I've been to you, in which I've been there for you, and all these different things, right? Then I'll have a problem with it. But if you don't disrespect that, then you can see me whatever way you can see me as the gentle teddy bear. But understand I'm there, right? Whether I like that term or not. Or you know what I mean? I don't rail against your opinion because you know me better than the majority of people.
That's the thing, bro.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So
That's it.
if you feel that way, then there's some smoke to that. Right? Now if it's the whole truth, I know it's not the whole fucking truth, but that's what you choose to see, then it's kinda it might be there. You feel what I'm saying? So as long as she doesn't disrespect not our past, but disrespect the best way I can put it, disrespect the man who's been there, makes no difference what she thinks because I'll laugh at it. That's it. Now it's some convoluted ins and out opinions and all that shit, but that's my real accurate opinion of that question.
You know me, man. Honestly, out of all the things that I may, question my wife over, just being a person who values self-reflection, man. Sometimes I haven't been a good husband at all. You know what I mean? So as far as what her opinion is about me, I couldn't really say. And do I care? Of course I do. Of course I do.
If
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead.
If I chose to be vulnerable with you and I'm giving you who I really am and you accept that shit, that's what it is. If you deviate from that, then you have to ask yourself were you being as honest and accepting me for who I was or
But
who I am.
what if that part is hurtful though? You accept it, but it's still hurtful at the same time. I'm just throwing it out there because that's interesting what you said.
You say what if that part is hurtful? What part is
That
that?
that that is that
Accepting me?
yeah, accepting you, and it's hurtful toward the relationship. And I'm curious about this. I'm not saying that it's a fact,
So
but
you
what if
saying so you saying in my wife accepting me who I am was a letdown for her and she just accepted the lesser part or
did
whatever?
you not hear the question? Because I'm
I'm
going
trying to
going off.
understand the question.
Okay, so what you said was, and I don't want to misquote you. You said you're being vulnerable and it's accepted, right? And when you veer off from that because it's been accepted, then that's a problem. And what I said was, what if, let me throw this word in there. What if part of what if part of what's been accepted might be hurtful to the relationship? Then what do? You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that that's interesting what you said. I'm just curious of what your thoughts on it.
I think, man, I mean, trying to gain an understanding of what you're saying. Um, you know, in relationships, things happen. Life happens, right? It depends on what you take personal, and what you hold on to. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What you hold on to and what you hold against that person, and say, you know what, the person can say, hey man, you know what, you was this way, but you changed, and I don't like the change that you are. That's something different. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's something different, and then you have to deal with that reality of it, and then that might require not being together anymore.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And as long as both parties respect each other and there's no animus there. But but you ask me personally what I think, how I feel about the situation. How do I want my wife to see me? I want her to see me like she saw me in the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? That was something, man, that made her make a commitment with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? And in relationships, well, we all know because we've been together 100 years with our wives and stuff like that. Shit happens. Things come up. Things happen. Whatever. But what makes you continue to think and believe and feel like it's worth it is the initial shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how many women, man, is gonna get with a cat that she don't believe that's gonna protect her? You know what I'm saying? Women are calculating like that. Hey, you know what? I can have baby with this man because I know we're gonna be safe. I can have baby with this man because I know he's gonna provide. I can be in love and be my vulnerable self because I know he's gonna respect me because he chose me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're gonna be a hypocrite and say, "Hey, you know what? I changed my mind, and whatever transpired in the middle, all that stuff, it doesn't matter, and I just don't care," then you are foul. You know what I'm saying? Then you are that person who, like, you know, was I really committed to it? Did I really fall in love with this person? Did I really, really put my life and my safety and my personal self in? Did I make that investment for nothing? If it was for nothing and we could come up with all kind of excuses for not to be together, then it was a waste of everybody's time. But if trials and tribulations of life happens and you come to the conclusion that, yeah, but I got my partner with me and I can get through it. You know what I'm saying, that's commitment, because that's becoming one. That's a union. That's becoming one. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but that also creates a space, man, for a lot of one-sidedness, man. Because I mean, in a lot, and you know, in a lot of marriages, man, the friction and issues and problems, man, are just coming from one direction. And if you're the person who rarely rarely has something, if you're the person who's rarely going through something, number one, it could be draining. And number two, when you finally do get into position to where you're going through something, and you're not supported the way that you believe you were supported, and that counts, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
yeah,
counts.
I can, I can
It
respect
counts.
that.
It counts a lot, man. Don't matter how much a person says they love you. Don't matter.
you know what? And I agree with you. It's your strength of character, man, because it's critical thinking, the strength of character, and it is also sprinkled in how much you love that person, because you're weathering a storm in which you don't want to be fucking in. I'm talking about that current storm, that rainstorm, that cloud burst. Whether you're gonna weather it because you know the sun coming out. You feel what I'm saying? But I think all men and women, and this is chauvinist of me, but all men and women, the man always takes. And I'm not talking about as far as the financial part of it, but the man is always on that one side that's getting the thinnest, um, the thinnest amount of what? Happiness. Happiness might be the wrong word, but get back. You know what I'm saying? It's and I
Happiness,
think
happiness,
happiness is the
peace,
wrong word.
under
Peace,
happiness, peace,
peace,
understanding,
peace,
fucking hell, fairness. I mean, it's
peace and fairness.
you in the beginning, man. You think everything that you've well, at least every hardship that you survived up to that point when you find your significant other, man. You think that those things prepare you, you know, to be supportive, to another person throughout, a lifetime of their hardships or whatever. But I mean, when you get into the mindset that, that way of thinking is not reciprocated, man, it's a letdown. It really is. It can be a letdown.
I get it.
And that's something you got to deal with, man. You either gonna, you either gonna toe the line, or you're gonna start doing things to find your happiness, man. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
just
get
what
it.
it is,
I
you
get
know.
it. I get it.
And if you're in a situation where you don't believe that your happiness was ever considered, then that's the ultimate double down right there.
And look, and do you okay? Do you think you're playing games with yourself when you question that particular thing you just said? Is your happiness considered, when you actually know the person, knowing that they don't, they may not be able to achieve or respond in the way that you will respond? Are you playing games with yourself?
Well, yeah, you sort of are, because there's nowhere has it ever been written that any person you are in a relationship has to match your effort. You know, and that's not even a realistic notion.
But you know, I
You know, but
Wait a
no,
respect
minute.
others.
You said they don't have to
but
match your effort.
they don't. Yeah, you can't make a person match your efforts.
I respect
You,
people
you can't
who,
you
who
can't love a person into matching your efforts. You can't do it.
and I
But
agree
is
with you, Jaquar, but I respect people who try to make people
but isn't
match.
that predicated on your expectation, man?
I mean, look, you think
If your
about it.
if your
Yeah,
if your expectation is, hey, I need you to match me on this,
yeah.
but that's your side of it, and that's your expectation.
Mhm.
I'm saying
Why,
now,
why do you have that expectation though, Damon?
yeah, but what if it's given to you because you demand it, and not because they want to give it to you
Well,
because you deserve it.
No. Hold on. You missed the part because you were gone when Jaquari said that that part is given. You see what I'm saying? So when he brought in it being matched, see that you missed that part. You see what
The
I'm
part is
saying?
given.
Yeah, he's given that
Musical,
kind of energy.
you're giving that type of energy that they don't need to be matched. And
No, he wants it to be matched.
right, yo, okay, absolutely, you want it to be matched, and that's your expectation. You know what I'm saying? And that's a given. I totally understand that part. What I'm saying is, I think what the point I'm making is, if I have an expectation of this person, right, and they disappoint me, is it their issue? I mean, there are a lot of variables involved in that. I mean, maybe they don't know how to. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah, but if they disappoint you, bro, then that's your issue. That's not theirs.
okay, how often are you disappointed though? That's my point. You know what I'm saying? If it's something
very,
that's me,
very,
my
You see
point
him
is,
laughing now. You see him
yeah,
laughing.
and
You
that's my
know,
very.
whole point.
yeah.
That's my whole point. It has to be something that happens on a regular basis, man. And then I understand exactly where you guys coming to, and that's a whole different subject, man. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, if it's just having chance something happen and then y'all there's a disagreement and we don't agree, I don't think that affects the relationship, man. I think that each party say, okay, I can, we can agree to disagree, and we okay with that. You know what I'm
I
saying? And
got
then is it really, really that serious where you have to take it that personal to the point where you're actually asking the question whether or not you're being respected?
Well,
Yes,
I
yes, they were
mean,
saying.
consider. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but considering this is a person's life, it's as it absolutely should be taken that seriously. Absolutely, these are lives we're talking about. This ain't situational. This is a person who I stood in front of a man and God said to till death do us part. That means something.
Right, right.
so you always, no matter what type of person that you sacrifice your happiness, really and truly, you are also responsible for holding on to your happiness, man. You know what I mean? You have to really and truly, when it's people who don't, number one, who don't understand what makes you happy because either they don't get it or they don't want to get it. You have to be the one to grab on to that. And because what it's going to do is keep you sane so you can keep moving on and staying where you are, or or uh doing maintenance on where you are. You feel what I'm saying?
But
I,
yeah, there's times, man, there's disagreement and back and forth and all that stuff, and people are taking their perspective sides, man. But when it's all said and done, and the main focus is to have understanding with each other and grow from it and learn how to be together. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word, sacrifices had to be made. You know what I'm saying? You have to have an understanding. There's been times where I stood 10 toes deep on my shit and was totally wrong about it and felt like I was being mistreated or I felt this and that and that and this. But when I looked at it, when I took the time to listen and look at it, I said, damn, you was kind of, you was abrasive, but you got offended because somebody, rubs you the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
And, and then at that
there's not
point,
always
at that point,
there's not always a guarantee that the other person is going to match that introspection, man. And that's my point.
right.
You don't you kind of need that?
You do, but it's also you need it, Jaquari, but also you have to take just how much you're gonna take it in consideration on how you feel. You can't put it, it cannot be the main thing on how you feel. It's always in us. It's always how we feel about a situation, always comes down to us, I think.
Yeah, from hypothetically my point of view, but you can't say that for the other party.
No, I get it. No, this is not a debate on how you feel. Don't get me wrong, because I don't want that. I don't want you to think that. I'm saying to you is I am feeling optimistic that the strength within you will help you to see the path to your happiness. That's all.
When you're talking about path to your happiness, is it separate from your mate, man?
It has to be separate, brother, because if you are not happy with you, you cannot make your mate happy.
So if you're not happy with yourself, how is it your mate's issue? You're not
It
happy
is it is their issue because the way that you treat them.
right, which is still your issue.
And I'm not telling you it's not. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing you're saying. It's your issue or how you feel. I'm not blaming a mate. I am taking responsibility for me. Because just like I said, y'all have heard me say this many, many times. I cannot show love unless I can show love to me. Now, I'm not talking about that's a definite not being able to show love. Of course, you can show love. I'm talking
Okay.
about in the simple sense that
Okay.
really and truly to open up your heart and to be comfortable and to love that person that you've known for a long time. You have to love yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I think
And that's just me.
man, what's pivotal for a person to understand, man, is if you say you in a relationship and you are putting forth love and respect and care and concern and it's not being reciprocated, are you a victim?
Going back to what I'm saying to you, you are a victim if you think you are. If you're
Right.
showing love and understanding, it's because you're choosing to show that love and understanding.
Right.
You are not trying to get a response by doing that.
Simply because you feel good in giving it. It doesn't diminish you whatsoever.
No, not at all, because you feel good about you.
Right.
The kind of person you are.
Right. And you're giving love and respect, and you're giving all those different things because you choose to do so, not because you was coerced and doing this shit.
Yeah.
Because you choose to do so. And if it doesn't work out, are you a victim?
No. Because you're taking a chance.
And you're being true to yourself.
You're taking a chance. You're taking a chance on that person.
If something is away, man, I would much rather have a person tell me that something is away.
Yeah, me too.
And instead of just being, somebody that, hypothetically I didn't know when we stood at the altar. So as far as y'all saying, talking about, making yourself happy and all this and all that, I mean, that sound good. It sound good, man. But, a fair exchange ain't no robbery, man.
So Let me
Fair
ask you
exchange
this.
and no robbery.
Let me ask you this, Jaquari. What we're talking about, right,
Mhm.
has a lot to do with how you feel because you understand what you deserve and what you want. See, that's
Mhm.
what we the three of us is talking about the same thing. You understand? Because if you didn't feel that way and you didn't understand, right, you'll be sitting up here twiddling your thumb like, yo, what can I do? How can I do? No, you like this, like, yo, I'm Jaquari Armstrong, right? I'm Jaquari Armstrong. I gave you this because I wanted to give you this. Now, what are you gonna give me in return? Because I'm looking for it, not because fair exchange ain't robbery or whatever. Fair exchange ain't robbery. No, because that's what you want. That's what you in your heart and your mind. That's what you want. That's it. And I'm just saying how it relates more than anything.
Hmm.
That's all.
Okay. Oh,
That's all.
yeah, I dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't have to agree, right? But let me tell you, I see the strings that's attached by every statement that the three of us just made. That's all.
Not necessarily stranger. Well, yeah,
Threads,
I get what
threads,
you're saying.
threads. That's all.
Well, the thing about it with me, man, and I try to keep it as simple as possible, man. Especially when it comes to relationships and how we deal with the world and all that shit. If your partner, man, don't see that you are this and you're trying to be this, you know what I'm saying, then what is really going on? You know what I'm saying? Is there arguments, man, saying, hey, well, are you different? You're not the same, you're different, whatever. That's a whole nother argument, man. But if it's a situation, man, where both parties claim to love each other, well, you can work through anything. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent, you can work through anything. And it's just, for me, it's just, when I think about the question and I think about everything that's been discussed so far, I'm like, if I can't be myself with this person, then what the hell? First of all, I have to have confidence in who I am as I express my inner self, as I express it. You know what I'm saying? And if I came to the conclusion that I trust this person to express my inner self, then, and that person don't respect it, that's not my issue. It's not my issue because I'm being honest about how I feel about this person and our relationships and how I want to, be with this person. I'm being honest with it. If it don't work out or if it's some whatever, then I can say to myself, I gave my level best and I was honest. Maybe it wasn't good enough. I still don't have animus in that regard, man. I still don't. Because at the end of the day, the only person I have to deal with me being honest with myself is myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, can't work out. But I didn't cheat the situation. And I gave my level best. I was honest about it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's what y'all saying, because y'all might be, I'm not saying that's what y'all saying. I'm just saying, as I think about what I'm hearing, I'm saying I'm not going to be anything else other than myself. And I'm going to give my whole self to it. And this is what I believe.
Yeah.
And if that's not good enough, then I'm not mad.
Look, you
I'm
saying some powerful.
I'm just being me. I mean, who else can I be?
Look, you saying some powerful shit, and just the comedy is when you were saying that shit, right? And you were saying that shit, and it's real. You touch it. I believe what you're saying, but you throw the comedy in, and you like, no, nigga, we don't know what you talking about.
Yeah, that might be the case, but I know what
No.
I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about the comedy. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's all. Because look, we sitting up here just chopping it up. And
Right.
that's what I love about this situation. You know what I'm saying? We just sitting here chopping it up. But look, we getting ready to end this up, and I want final words from both you guys. But let me do some house cleaning before we do what we're doing. Housekeeping, house cleaning. The Strong Perspective Podcast. We here every Friday at 7:30. If you don't believe in us, we believe in us. So no, I ain't gonna say fuck it because I almost did it, but it
Well, you
don't
just
matter.
did.
No,
It's a fuck
no, no, because if it had a attached fuck it at the end of that sentence, then I would have put that negative energy onto our situation. So I stopped myself. But we believe in what we're doing. And as a matter of fact, we're very good at what we're doing. It's about conversation, it's about insight, it's about uh, caring about your fellow man, it's about everything that people need. So go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna slowly eke up. We're gonna do what we do, but guess what? Don't you be that motherfucker who don't get with us early and then say, I knew them way back when. We ain't gonna give a shit, but what we're gonna do, what you're gonna do is feel bad because you said that dumb shit. Any last words, Damon? Bring us on home.
My
Well,
last
Damon,
words.
Ja'Quari, bring us on home. Damon, give us a word, brother.
I think, man, that at the end of the day, man, uh, as individuals, man, respecting individuality. At the end of the day, man, we have to be honest, man, and learn from our mistakes. Be honest with ourselves, and once we do that, you know what I'm saying, we control the narrative, man, about our damn self. Ain't that a bitch? You know what I'm saying? And people who's really interested, you know what I'm saying, you got to ask yourself what's their motivation. You know what I'm saying? If you're giving up that part of yourself and it doesn't coincide, it doesn't mesh with each other, you have to ask yourself what's the motivation. Because you can't do anything else but be honest with yourself. And that resonates, man. That's what it is. Nobody can say shit if you honest with yourself and you honest about your, you know, your misgivings or whatever. Just because the other person doesn't reciprocate doesn't diminish you because you were honest with yourself. And when you have, and when you sit around and you thinking and contemplating, you going over shit that bothers you, you say, "Well, I couldn't have did anything else. This is who I am. This is what I stayed true to, and I didn't try to control anybody else's narrative. I just tried to control mine. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm man enough to admit that shit. I was wrong like a motherfucker. I was. Who gonna challenge that? Nobody can because I was, I was honest and I said it. Yeah, I was fucked up then. I said some things that I shouldn't have. I did it out of anger, which is a human trait or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna tell me I wasn't honest with myself. You have no control over that. And I live and die with that. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's me being honest with myself. I was loud, I was obnoxious, I was aggressive, I was this and I was that. And you know that shit. You just choosing to be combative based on you possibly feeling insecure about yourself. And that's just human nature. We just do that shit. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I was fucked up, but what about you? What about you, man? Does it solve the problem or heal the relationship? What about you doesn't do that? You know what I'm saying? What heals the relationship or what makes the relationship at least respectable is like, man, you was right. I was that. I was that. And now what? I'll try to be better. I will be better.
Gotcha.
And that requires trust. Person can say, man, I can't fuck with you no more. Then you got to live with that shit, bro. And keep it moving. But that doesn't diminish you and your experience and you as a human being. It doesn't. Sometimes shit don't coincide, bro.
Okay. Jaquar.
Good conversation, fellas. I appreciate your time and everything. Look forward to the next.
Okay. I enjoyed it also, man. And may everybody that watches this program and who don't watch this program, the Lord shine his bright blessings upon you and give you at least a good week of smiles and entertainment and love.
I'm gonna say this, bro. We just lost two good people, man, that was in our lives, man, and I'm thankful for them allowing me to be a part of their life, and that was Uncle Calvin, and that was Aunt Benita. Two beautiful human beings, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really, really appreciated being in their presence and talking with them, and they're talking to me and recognizing me as somebody who was a part of their life and who loved them. You know what I'm saying? And they loved me too. So rest in peace, Aunt Benita. Rest in peace, Uncle Cal.
Peace. Rest in peace to you both. Wonderful human beings. All right, guys. I pray that everybody's safe. Pray for the Western Carolina folks, the lost
Real
loved
talk.
ones, and
Cause they catching hell, boy. Woo.
everyone else from the South all the way up to Western Carolina. I pray that you all are blessed, that God put his wonderful hands upon you to recover and rebuild and everything. Listen, this is a Strong Perspective podcast. We're about that business. We're about that smoke. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.